Let's play rough.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out Snow White and the Seven Samurai. And this 2024 film was directed by Michael Su and stars Fiona Dorn, Quentin Jackson, and Eric Roberts, among others, of course. The story of this movie is about the daughter of this drug kingpin. And of course, he traffics in cocaine. So, of course, her nickname is Snow White. And then her father dies under, certain circumstances. And so she's supposed to take over the family business. However, the other mob bosses want to take over her share. So they kind of, force her out. And I guess also her stepmother wants to force her out as well and join up with the other mob bosses. So that's kind of the Snow White, aspect of it. And so she's just, kind of kicked to the curb and forgotten about. And then she teams up with these lady samurais. And they have this sworn duty to try to protect the city against, the mobsters. And so she gets trained by them and then has to take on the mobsters that, forced her out. What will happen though? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's discuss this film. Well, with this one, it is made by The Asylum. And The Asylum is just, a B movie production company. If you've never heard of them before, we've reviewed quite a few of their movies on this channel. And I have to say that I'm an Asylum fan. I enjoy their movies. I enjoy them because they're corny and cheesy. What is it? Hairliner Sky Battle. I enjoyed that one. Of course, all the Sharknado ones I enjoyed. And was there one called Pumpkinhead where it was kind of a Ghost Rider ripoff? I enjoyed that one. So there are certainly ones out there that I enjoy. Not so much some other ones, but for the most part, if I'm pressing play on one, they've done something different where I do want to kind of press play. And with this one, Snow White and the Seven Samurai, that's just a mashup of, two random things. And I thought, this has potential to certainly be interesting. And for the most part, it's not that bad, I would say. It is definitely an average Asylum film. So definitely middle of the road. Nothing particularly over the top or crazy, which is kind of what you press play on these movies for. But at the same time, certainly not the worst. With this one, the Seven Samurai are an interesting plot to follow. And same with Snow White, her kind of mob story also works. And there's lots of different, plot points. So something's always kind of, So something's always moving forward in the story, which is very good for, an audience to watch it with. And so, yeah, with this one, just kind of an average, Asylum film where you can kind of get into it. I've, read a few other reviews on this one. Some people say it's a train wreck you can't look away from. I didn't find it particularly that bad. But at the same time, as an Asylum fan, I'm used to this stuff. So, just kind of watching things, happen in, an interesting little way was, certainly enjoyable for, the whole night I was watching it. And with that being said, the story is interesting enough. I did enjoy all the stuff with the samurai. And of course, it does come to, a big kind of conflict in the end where they have to go into this compound with all the seven samurai and, defeat the mobsters. And they all have swords and stuff like that. They never really kind of use the swords outside of training. And of course, the big climactic battle at the end. But they're all just, using guns and stuff. And so it is quite a bit of fun to watch these seven samurai ladies run around this compound and actually, get the job done. And so the third act, I would say, is certainly interesting, certainly worth, watching it all the way through. So yeah, that was good. Also, since it's an Asylum film, they're in production for 25 years now or something. And they, have a good style of filming. Everything is well shot. I did kind of think things were flat sometimes, but that is what it is. The sound certainly was good as well. So all the technical stuff, of course, the Asylum's got it down. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, since it is an Asylum film, it is a lot of talking in rooms, as you've surely expected from the Asylum. And that is certainly true with this one. There's a lot of just them talking in rooms or, training in a warehouse. They do have this giant mansion next to like a farm or something, and I thought that was really good. They even used some outdoor parts of the mansion as well, and that was just kind of part of the funny aspects of it, because with these B movies, they're not perfect and they're kind of making mistakes, or like mistakes in quotes, of course, with this one. And so they have like fun things as well that happen around this mansion. For example, they're always like trying to spy on the mobsters. So, these samurai, they dress up like ninjas and they're going through not the forest, the yard, hiding behind trees and stuff. But then it's like daylight. It's just like 12 noon o'clock, it's like perfectly light outside. And you're like, this is not like camouflaged at all. And so there's lots of things like that where it's just like, the thought process just kind of like stopped at some point. It's just like, this is the time we're shooting. We got everything here, so let's shoot, right? And it's just like, okay, let's do it that way. So certainly there are like B movie qualities that really kind of stand out, I would say, that do make it enjoyable if you're a bad movie fan. There are other things as well that certainly go into that, like the script is not very well written. In fact, I was questioning whether it was like written by AI. I was like, this line is like so ridiculous, and it's just kind of funny that way, hearing these lines and being like, oh, that's awkward. And yeah, just a lot of things that go into it that make it to be a B movie. It was already probably aiming for a B movie with the Seven Samurai plus Snow White put together, but it just bumps it up to a different level, I would say. Also, with this one, the acting is certainly very mediocre in this one. Everyone's just kind of saying their lines. And so, no one's doing a bad job, but no one's doing a great job either. Some elements of the story, since it is, people talking in rooms for a large part of it, they do tend to get a little dull at points, but at the same time, like, they're interesting enough that you go along with it. And then, of course, getting to that third act where they have all of the action, I think is worth it. And so sitting through, these kind of interesting things, but also kind of dull scenes certainly, adds some tedium to it. But one that certainly is, very easy to get through. And with this one, like, it's just a silly idea. It's Snow White and the Seven Samurai. Like, I press play just because of the name and trying to hopefully get something crazy. With this one, you just get something more ironic than anything else. Like, you can kind of tell they're trying, but at the same time, they know what they're doing. And so it's one of these movies where a bad movie lover will certainly be able to press play on this one and enjoy it enough. I've heard explained as like a train wreck that you can't look away from. I didn't think it was that bad, but certainly there are a lot of negative scores, I would say, on IMDb. And yeah, so it is certainly something to watch, especially if you are, a bad movie lover. As for a recommendation, well, certainly if you're a bad movie lover, you can press play on this one and enjoy it enough, especially if you're into, ironic viewing of movies. This is, one that you can certainly press play on. As for a score, I gotta give it the okay score of 4. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.